85-67 at the MAC. Let's bring on the head coach of the Purple Raiders, Mike Fuline, here on this a little bit of a chilly Thursday afternoon. Coach Mike, congrats on another win at home last night. How are we doing today?
Good, Sammy. Good. Just, that time of year, just getting through the days, man.
Right? No kidding. Well, it was you guys came out and looked like you had a little bit of a purpose there. You dropped 50 on them in the first half, got into a nice little rhythm, got to play some guys late in the game. Cam had a really nice night for you off the bench. I guess what was the message to the young fellows before they went out on the court last night about 6:45 or so?
Yeah, I don't think this group really responds to, revenge games or things that
Yeah.
we just have a mindset that, we need to win two more, and you can't win, two in a row without winning that third one. And it's just kind of that process right now that, the next game's up. What do we have to do to win? How are we going to guard them? What can we do to score? Love being at home with this group. And, that's kind of the message. The only thing that can beat us is sometimes just us. And that was kind of the frustrating part. It was a good hour of the evening, and then we just kind of fall into some weird grooves, man, where we just kind of stopped playing a little bit. And that's the part that's the next level for not only this team but for these guys as they move towards the future.
Yeah, I know you had to light them up a little bit there in the second half, because you could side. And I looked at my broadcast partner and I said, boy, they're in that funk again for like 3.5, 4 minutes.
Yeah.
And I think another possession went by, and you said that's it, and you got up and called the timeout, brought them over, and tried to get a little message across. But let's go to the positive and talk about that first half. Kevin got off to a great start last night. Elijah was very active. Chance had to kind of pick his spots, get beat up a little bit. Caleb went down early a little bit. Chris Knight got raked across the eye late in the game last night. I'm like, what is going on out there? But talk about that first half.
Yeah, the first half was good. I think we figured out, our best way to defend them. It's a first-year coach, and they had a lot of new players, and it kind of took us off. We just had the wrong plan, Sammy, to be honest with you, in the first matchup, and got down 15-2, and then just responded back and just couldn't hold on. So, we thought now we just had a better understanding of what they were trying to do and our strengths as well. And just kind of took them out of their rhythm offensively, because they are, really good, especially when they get going. So we shared the basketball, like you said. Listen, man, when Kevin's playing well and Elijah together, because Kevin Hamilton and Chance and Caleb are just they kind of always are solid, you know what I mean? And not to say the other two aren't, but the other two are different birds, man. They are good, and especially, when Eli gets going and draws doubles and you're kicking. And I mean, Kevin looked at me at one point because I don't think they think I can shoot, Coach. I said, well, they got to guard some other things, man. That's what makes you open. That's a beautiful part about an offense, you know? So, but it's good. Like Sammy, I'm going to miss all three of our seniors, senior night on Saturday or senior day. We'll because they, these three guys are not only terrific players, but my goodness, man, what great people they are. And, you just stay up and work, and our coaches work their butts off just to try to get them something a season that they can remember.
No doubt about it. I mean, it's just, you can tell that you've got that. You guys have it's kind of weird, but it's kind of cool. You have different levels of leadership. I mean, you got your seniors, you got a couple of the underclassmen. Obviously, you got yourself and your staff. You got your support staff. There's just it's a fine-tuned machine. No matter how you go about getting there, you guys are always able to get there, and that's, I think, one reason you're 21-2, and you obviously the program has taken off. But these kids, you can tell, and we watch them, they generally love playing basketball with one another. I don't know what the practices are like. I assume they're the same way. You get a good group here. You really do.
We do. It's a great practice group. The one thing that we get, and it's just human nature, you come out at halftime, you're up 24 or 26, and then you just, the guys that start and the guys that play it's just kind of it's not a selfishness on purpose, but hey, I want to get it's my turn now,
Sure.
and you just can't be that way because that they can come back. I mean, I'm watching our film against Wilmington. We're up 22 with 8 minutes to go, and they get it all the way down to 7. So it's just like that's the one thing. It's just we say the word maturity all the time, and we just keep preaching it and keep saying it. Sometimes yelling it. I mean, that's like what I want to do, right? In the second half, to scream at our guys that I had to
Right.
do last night. I mean, that's like what I enjoy doing. I mean, come on, just be mature enough, finish the game, just be solid. And I think after that, I think Kevin had a great pull-up jumper. We hit a 3, got 2 stops, and then. But why do I have to lose my mindset? I'm too old. It's February,
No,
man. Like I'm at the end here. Like just do what you do.
it's crazy because you sprint out, you go into a funk, and then all it takes is a quick 3 or a block shot, and it's like the bad never
Yeah.
happened. You know
Yes.
what I mean?
Yeah.
It's wild.
It is. And the two we lost, those things just never came. You know what I
Right.
mean? So
Right.
so you're hoping that you hit a shot to kind of stop the bleeding, but we can't rely on that. We just can't rely on that. I mean, I begged them, please, can we just have 40 solid minutes, and we're still striving for that, which is kind of a cool thing,
Oh, yeah, it's
and
good
yeah,
because it's still out there.
yes,
I truly believe you're going to get that 40, and it's going to come at a big time. I got a feeling.
I
Coach
hope.
Mike Fuline is our guest here, head coach of the Purple Raiders, kind enough to join every Thursday at 3:35 here on 1310 WDPN. Mount a winner over the Berg last night, 85-67. They've got Wilmington coming to town Saturday, and then down to Columbus on Wednesday. That'll be it for the regular season. Crazy, but only 2 left to go. But I love this homestand. Another home game on
Yeah.
Saturday with Wilmington, and you've seen them before already. We talked about that lead, and you're able to hang on and get the win down the road. But senior day coming up, obviously a ton of emotions from everybody, from yourself to the players to the families. How do you, Coach Fuline, approach senior days, and do they change from year to year depending on the size of the class and the individuals?
Yeah, they do. I mean, it's just again, it's just one of those things. It depends on who's there, and when you look at these 3 guys. I mean, Dante Collier's been here for 4 years. He's our one guy that's won a ring and has cut down nets and things like that. Just kind of the perseverance of sticking through it for 4 years, and now is a major piece to the puzzle. And Kevin Moore came in. We recruited him out of high school like crazy, man. I was at Campbell Memorial High School more than I think I was at my house, and he decided to try some other things, and then found his way back here, and is one of the most incredible people that I've been around, man. Chance says it best. He's the best teammate he's ever seen, and maybe he'll ever have. I mean, he's just that guy. And then Caleb, after going down last year, that was brutal for our basketball team, and him being back to be able to have the success he's had this season. Again, just a good dude. He's I think a triple major, 4.0 student. So you kind of reflect on it a little bit. You're grateful for those guys and their families. But there's still a lot of season to go. There's still so much season to go. So it's not a sad time. It's more of an exciting time.
Oh, absolutely. I cannot believe Dante Collier is not going to be with this program after this. I just cannot believe. And I started thinking, how can this be? And I'm thinking, well, okay, there's no more 6-year stuff, so guys aren't able to hang around and get the extra year because of COVID and different things, and the 5 years, the 6 years, and the 4, it goes by in a whim, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. I mean, you start thinking about next year with Eli being a senior. It seems like he just got here. So that's the cool part, and what you try to stress as a coach is just that urgency, right? Let's just not have any regrets. You're going to make memories. I mean, you may not think it's a big deal, but if you see a banner up there, you're going to come back to games eventually with your wife and kids, and and
Hmm.
say, hey, that was my team, and um, I know how important that is because I see it with our past teams. So just them not to put the pressure. That's not pressure. That's just like let's just leave it out there. Let it go, man. Let it go, and hopefully that's the kind of what we see here in the next couple of weeks.
Coach Mike Fuline is our guest. Mount Union Purple Raider basketball. We took care of Heidelberg last night. Wilmington coming up 1 o'clock at the Mac Center. Love to see everybody out there. If you can't get there, we'll have it for you. 1310 WDPN. Got to talk a couple of guys. Sean Vaden last night comes in and gets his old 2 or 3 blocks right away. Just such a presence in there. And then Cam comes off the bench last night and gets 14. 4 of 7 behind the arc. If you could, a couple of words about those young fellas.
Yeah, well, let's start with Cam. I mean, Cam literally does it every day in practice. I mean, he's just a tremendous shooter of the basketball. It's automatic, man, and we need to find better. We're trying, I'm telling you, to get him some shots. You just try to, when he's getting it may be a limited time. You just try to get him a shot because it's going to go in. And he's just like a lot of the great shooters I've coached. Once one goes in, man, watch out. You're going to get 2, 3, maybe even 4. Dante's a lot like that too. So, I'm just constantly begging him about the other side of the floor, and he's gotten so much better defensively. Has a ways to go, but you look at him and Chris Knight and Landon. Those 3 guys are going to be a centerpiece to our program. They think they know now. The speed a little bit's different. The physicality is a little bit different.
Yeah.
But there's no doubt in my mind all 3 of those guys are going to be great. And Cam Weekly is going to be one of the best shooters that I coach. I can guarantee you that. And
No
then
doubt.
obviously Sean. I mean, I could talk about him forever. But what he's done, Sam, is he's just taken a huge jump, obviously. And he was in here last week and we were just talking, and he does a lot of things in the summer with his media, and it's some photography. He's just a cool kid.
Yeah.
And I just said, man, brother, just give me a little bit, just a little bit of time in that gym.
Yeah.
And you can be beyond dominant, and he's gotten there. Sometimes you have to remind him, like, you're allowed to score. I mean, I'm not joking. Like, you have to, like, you're right there. Like, just, you're allowed to go score. And if you miss it, it's going to be just fine, So, but the block shots are awesome. It changes the game. He dictates the game. I mean, I don't know if you could tell last night, but we're confident with him and Caleb switching on the guards now. Just kind of playing in front of you, because if they're going to go make those shots over top of you for 40 minutes, then we're going to lose, and that's okay, right?
Yep.
I mean, but we'll take our chances that we'll score some more down at the other end. And he just is a big disruptor defensively for us, for sure.
It's wild, man. I mean, you got a front row seat. I watch these guards and even some of the small forwards try to come into the paint, and they take a couple dribbles. They're like, I'm out of here, because 32 is just waiting on them. They're like, nope, back out front.
Listen, and it happens in practice too. I mean, like, it's almost like frustrating because you can't get anything done. I mean, I felt bad for Caleb. They go at it every day, and it's just frustrating, And but again, just another piece to the puzzle, man. Really big piece to it.
Mike Fuline is our guest on the Sam Berkman Show, 1310 WDP. We were fortunate enough. We got Cam was on our post game interview show last night on the radio, and we were talking, and he says that I'm summarizing his words here, that Chris Knight is his personal shooting coach. And he says, God, we just love each other, man. We are tight. We love playing ball. And Chris, my gosh, he has so much talent. Yes. And you kind of got to rein him in a little bit, because the minutes probably aren't there as much as you both would want them, but he looks like he's just taking everything in stride for you.
He is, and it's hard, especially when one of your buddies is getting out there a little bit, before you or whatever that is, and that's due to, him, Cam being a point guard at times, and it stinks. Like, there's just no way around it. But they get through the next month, man. The keys will be there to some extent, coming up here, and it's hard to wait, and I get it, but I think that what those two do, and I'll throw Landon in there as well.
Mhm.
They just work so hard. They love the game, and if they have another great summer in the weight room and just all their skill stuff, they're going to be tremendous players. I'm telling you, because they're great people.
Right, and that's where it all starts.
Yes.
You know that the way you recruit, recreate. You probably create too, but you
No,
get good people, and then
we
you
do.
turn them into
Yes.
great basketball players.
Yeah.
Couple of quick ones here before we give you the quiz. Our guy Rick Hairston coming over now to be the women's flag football coach at Mount Union. How cool is that?
Listen, man. Him and I are very good friends.
Yeah.
We talk all the time, and so I kind of got somebody here in the higher ranks came and saw me and said, "Hey, what do you think about this?" And I started laughing. I'm like, "Absolutely," And we have a lot of young head coaches and assistants, and they're asking me. I'm like, "Listen, I'm saying I'm everyone's favorite. It ain't gonna happen for much longer with him in the building, man." But he's such a good man,
Yeah.
and he's good for kids and students, and I think he's going to be an unbelievable asset here. He loves Mount Union. Mount
Yeah.
Union loves him. I think we're just kind of waiting for a chance to get him in at some point, and that opportunity arose, and just pumped that he'll be. And we'll probably drive each other crazy, but that's all right. That'll be
right.
the fun part.
Coach is coming on, I think, Monday afternoon. We talked a little bit today. I'm looking forward to that. Also, as luck would have it today at 4:35, we're going to be talking to Kyle Young, and he's going to have his jersey retired at Jackson tomorrow night. And I know you're going to let a great, very fond memories of Kyle, and what a great kid and a great player and person he continues to be.
Just a great family. I coached his older brother, the first year I was there, and just a great family. And, I think sometimes, at Jackson, we don't celebrate success enough when it comes to these types of things. And for him to have that honor and that team to be a part of it and associated with it is great. I mean, I remember him first, second, third, fourth. I think I left when he was in sixth grade, and Logan Hill, that whole crew. And it's just a great group of young men. And that honor is something that he'll have with him forever and ever and ever. And he deserves it.
No doubt. Looking forward to catching up with Kyle here today. All right, here we go, Coach. Time for the quiz before we let you get back to work. Question number 1. If you had to listen to just one album for the rest of your life, which one would it be?
Oh, my goodness, man. That's a rough one. I would say if I had to listen to one, the mood I'm in a little bit today, probably the Pearl Jam album.
Okay.
That came out in the 90s. We were in college. It brings back great memories with me and my buddies. So I would say that. Tomorrow I'd probably pick something else.
All right, we'll go with the present. Question number 2. I can't wait to hear this one. What's the worst job you've ever had?
So the worst job I ever had, I've had some very difficult ones. When I was in college, landscaping, but we had to do it in Cleveland, and I was at Kent. So we'd have to get up at 5:30 in the morning and work till 6:30 at night. By the time you got home, we would get $2. It was called the Loft Pizza. They were $2 pizzas. So me and my buddy would get like 10 of those on Tuesday, and then we just heat it, and that'd be it was like, you sit back and you're like, man, did I really do what I thought I was going to do? Then I went to Youngstown State and cleaned a bar after in the mornings and toilets and the whole 9 yards. Oh, brother, there was some rough ones, but makes you who you are, makes you appreciate things.
That's right. All right, question number 3. A word that you always have had trouble spelling.
Man, a word that Cincinnati.
No kidding.
I mean, why? Why would I have trouble spelling that? But I'm always like, and listen, I was an English teacher for 14 years, but it always kind of threw me. I've always been good with spelling, and I think my youngest son, I do Wordle pretty quickly, and he gets so frustrated, But man, that word, there's 2 N's in there, always kind of threw me off a little bit.
No kidding. All right, I'll keep that in mind down the road. All right.
Yes.
Coach, always a pleasure. Congrats on the win last night, and we'll see you Saturday at the MAC, all right?
All right, my man. Thank you, buddy.
You bet. There he goes, Mike Fuline, head basketball coach of the Purple Raiders of the University of Mount Union.